Hi, this is DeFi 250, also known as DeFi, and welcome to my commentary on my local Toxic Cup. I am so excited to share this with you. I got off to a rocky start, but in the end I did super well, and I am so excited to talk about it. My first opponent is Xandarian. He leads Golbat into Gliscor. I'm going to just be going for Night Slashes here. He's got Poison Fang on his Golbat. It's not really going to be doing much to me. So I just go for Night Slash. Night Slash is an added bonus. It can give you an attack boost, and I get it first try. I'm feeling awesome, and I go for the Night Slash again. And we gotta hit pause here because I get the boost not but just once, but twice in a row. Comment if that's ever happened to you. 2 boosts in one match. It feels great. All right, let's go. Back to it. So I finish off that Golbat, and then he sends out a Heracross. And I barely even see it, just a few fast moves, and that Heracross is food for my superpowered Pokemon. However, I'm not able to do too much against Drapion. He shields my Night Slash, and Drapion with Ice Fang is a hard stop to my Gliscor. However, Bibarel is a hard counter to Drapion. It works really, really well against it. So this is really the end of the match here, because even though he can block this Surf, I'm able to just continue fading this down. I block thinking it could be a crunch. It's just an Aqua Tail, but I can just fade him down with fast move damage. And I'm feeling really, really good. It turns out a little too good, a little cocky after this match. So next round, I lead Bibs into Alolan Muck. I am not very familiar with Alolan Muck's matchups, even now, because I don't have one myself that's really ready to go for Great League. I don't shield, which is a mistake. Dark Pulse does a ton of damage. So I use Surf, and that does a decent amount of damage too. I do shield here because I'm not ready for Bibs to go down quite yet. And it's a race for fast moves, which is a race that I win. And then he brings out his own Bibarel. I managed to switch mine out just barely in time. And Toxicroak is super fragile. I'm not going to be able to make it through much of this matchup at all. Confusion just completely knocking it out. Then I bring in Gliscor. Gliscor is my best counter to Wormadam Trash. And Ironhead is, despite the little bit of lag, Ironhead goes through, does some damage. I go through Night Slash, and if you watch here really carefully, you can see that I get the boost again. But it doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter because he shields it and knocks me out right away. So I'm not even able to effectively use my boost. And then Bibarel goes down before I can knock out my charge move. So GG on that one. So now we can go into the tiebreaker match of this round. I'm going to be leading my Gliscor into his Alolan Muck. And I'm going to be making what could be a mistake here because I do not shield this Dark Pulse. I tank it, but it does do a very big amount of damage. I try to bait his shield with the Earthquake. I should have just gone for Earthquake, unfortunately. That would have helped me out a lot here. I wouldn't have had to use this shield. And then I go for Earthquake again. No shield. Knocks him out. Then Bibs knocks out my Gliscor. And then I have to make a decision. I go for Wormadam Trash because I know I can win this matchup. Hyper Fang's an interesting choice. Surf would have been more effective use for his energy. I go for Bug Buzz. I get the shield. I decide to shield because I do want to keep Wormadam Trash alive a little bit longer. And then, but now I'm out of shields. Wormadam Trash goes down. And then I get a little bit of energy, but he's got a shield and Wormadam Trash. All he needs to do is launch one Bug Buzz, really, and I'm toast. So I kind of see this, and I know that I've lost. I get a little bit of hope here because I see he uses Ironhead. So I'm like, oh, maybe I can do this. I do try to do some water gun damage. I try to get to a Surf, but it's not enough. Confusion damage just does too much. So I'm feeling kind of cruddy. I lost round 1, but I try to bring it back in round 2. My opponent for round 2 is Tamjotin. Drapion into Golbat. This is a great situation for me. Ice Fang is going to be doing a ton of damage, so they switch into Qwilfish, which is a really good matchup for them. So I bail into Meganium at a really good time. I soak up that charge move, the Fell Stinger. Fell Stinger is a really great charge move because it increases attack. They have to shield Frenzy Plant. Frenzy Plant would have done a ton of damage. I decide I resist the urge to shield. Fell Stinger doesn't do a ton of damage on its own. It just increases the amount of damage that your moves are going to be doing. So I launch another Frenzy Plant, I get another shield, but I do have to use another shield here if I want to keep Meganium alive. And I wasn't quite able to switch out in time, so I let Meganium go. I bring in Drapion, and I just start going for some fast move damage, and then no shield, so I can use this Aqua Tail. But it's not quite enough. Golbat survives long enough to do a Shadow Ball. And I have to make a choice here. Which move am I going to launch? And I go for Crunch. Aqua Tail would have been a better choice, but there was no way for me to have known that. So they have a Steelix. So I bring in Wormadam Trash, my only option left. And this is not a great matchup for me. So I'm just trying to do confusion damage. I try a Bug Buzz because I'm thinking that's going to be better for me than Iron Head. And they bring in Qwilfish, knock a bunch of my health down, and I've got one Bug Buzz locked and loaded. It's not quite enough, but I have a shield. So I'm able to shield this Earthquake and just barely knock out this Steelix. That was a very, very close and exciting match. So we go into the second match of the round, and it's Wormadam into Steelix, and I want none of this. So I go into Bibs, start knocking down health, and they bring in Golbat, which is still not too bad of a situation for me because Water Gun damage is going to be doing quite a bit, and Poison Fang doesn't do a whole lot to Bibs, and Shadow Ball isn't very effective, even though it does do a pretty solid amount of damage. So I feel pretty good about this matchup. I decided to shield because I want to see Golbat go down, and I'm just barely able to do it before it gets to another Poison Fang. So I launch a Surf knowing it's not going to do a whole lot, but I do get a shield, which is pretty fantastic. I bring in my Confusion User, which I know is going to hurt Qwilfish a lot. Fell Stinger doesn't do much, so they bail, and then I bring in Toxicroak. I do have to shield, knowing if this is Earthquake, that would have one-shot me. And I'm able to just very quickly get to this Mud Bomb and knock out Steelix. They bring Qwilfish back in, and I can get to a Mud Bomb again. And since Qwilfish is part poison, it is weak to ground moves, and that knocks it right out. So I feel pretty good. I've won the round, but then we proceed to do the third match. Toxicroak into Wigglytuff. I need to get the heck out of here, and I bring in Bibs instead, which still not a great matchup. Charm is going to be doing a ton of damage. However, it's better than what I was doing before. Then Tamjoden brings in Vileplume, completely obliterates my Beverall. And I bring in Wormadam Trash, confusion damage doing quite a lot. I shield, not quite knowing what this is going to be. I think Petal Blizzard would have done a significant amount of damage, even though I resist it. I go for an Iron Head here. Don't get the shield, but I have another one ready to go. And that one does get the last shield. I know this isn't going to KO me no matter what it is. I'm able to live on just a little bit. I thought I'd be able to get the Golbat. I wasn't quite able to. But one fast move from Toxicroak, and I'm able to build up to a Sludge Bomb really quickly. Wigglytuff's a fairy type, so one Sludge Bomb, and that knocks out Wigglytuff. Those were all very, very close games. Very, very close. Well played. In round 3, I get matched up against my husband. Playing my husband in these Silph Cups is always an interesting experience because I'm very competitive. I do not like to lose. And we still have to go home together at the end of the day. He's beaten me in these Silph Cups before, and it doesn't end well. It gets pretty dicey. So let's see how this goes. In the first match of the round, I lead Gliscor into his Toxicroak. That's a terrible matchup for him, which he recognizes right away. He switches into Bibarel, so I bring in my own Bibarel for the mirror. And in the mirror, you're gonna need to bait the Hyper Fang in order to win. And unfortunately, he's got the energy advantage on me. So I try to bait, it doesn't succeed, and I end up shielding. I don't wanna let my bibs go quite yet. And I'm able to get to another surf, fortunately. And he shields it, wanting to keep his Bibarel alive, but he's able to get to one more, and I don't want to burn that last shield, so I let my bibs go down, and I bring my Wormadam trash back out. A couple confusions, that knocks out bibs, and then he brings in Skunk Tank. I get a few confusions off and switch to soak up the charge move. It's just a crunch, and then I go for a Night Slash, hoping to get that last shield, and I do. So thank you, Gliscor, you have done your job. I shield, but I am just not confident I'm able to get to that Earthquake, so I don't go for it. I'm thinking in retrospect I should have just been tapping on that Earthquake button. Instead, I go for this Bug Buzz here. I knock out the Skunk Tank, and then Toxicroak is just simply wormy food. So even though I can tank this Mud Bomb and Toxicroak goes down. So now we have the second match of the round, and I go for Drapion versus Gliscor, and this is a good matchup for me with that Ice Fang. He brings in Bibs, and I bring in Meganium this time. I have kind of a different lineup, an oddball lineup, but it's effective, it works for me. I'm able to just farm, which is awesome. He does get to one more Surf, and I do decide to shield it because I want to keep Meganium at least a little bit healthy. And I am switch locked here, so I do launch off a Frenzy Plant to get a shield. I launch another one because I'm still switch locked, and I get a second shield. So thank you, Meganium, you have done your job. And I bring Drapion back in, and I'm able to launch an Aqua Tail right away and almost knock Gliscor out right there. I shield. Earthquake would have definitely hurt, so he brings in Rhyperior. And even though Ice Fang's not doing a lot, an Aqua Tail will. So one Aqua Tail and no more Rhyperior. So I win the second match, which wins me the round. We do proceed to this third match, but I don't have to worry. Nobody has to sleep on the couch tonight. So Gliscor into Golbat, I bail into Drapion, knowing that that's my better matchup. I shield this, which is pretty unnecessary. I didn't really need to shield here. And I just keep going for Ice Fangs. And I launch an Aqua Tail. I'm surprised he's not bailing. He goes for another Shadow Ball. I don't shield it. I know I can tank that. And I just Ice Fang down Golbat. He brings in Bibs, and I go for a Crunch, which goes shielded, and Drapion goes down. Then Toxicroak can just start knocking Bibs out with counter damage. I do have to shield though, or otherwise Toxicroak would have maybe not been KO'd, but definitely would have gotten to a pretty low amount of health. Skunk Tank's part poison, so Mud Bomb does a huge amount of damage. Now we just have Bibs, and I launch a Sludge Bomb, and that knocks it out. So, GG's, thank you Viper Mark 7, or better known to me as My Michael, for the matches. There is one round left of my local Toxic Cup. I am so excited to share it with you. It's the best round yet, so please be on the lookout for part 2 of my local Toxic Cup series coming soon. Thank you so much for watching, and best wishes.